We have many of the same people here. Hernandez, Alfred.
How you doing, Reverend?
Not yet. He's coming. There's Reverend right there.
How's your Mr. Reverend? How you been?
How's your Mr. Reverend? How's your Mr. Reverend?
I was away because my grandson's birthday.
How old is he now?
12 years old.
12 years old.
So I have to go.
Exciting news.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. How you doing?
We're inside Joe's bachelor pad. Hi, Rob H. Hi, Streaming with Vinny. What's poppin'?
Hi, Vinny.
It's the coldest day of the year, Joe. Yesterday was horrible. Hi, Treaton. Look at Treaton. Treaton got a brand new shiny wrench.
My hands froze yesterday.
Why are you not clapping for Treaton, Joe?
How you doing, Mr. Reveler?
Hi, Mr. Evelyn.
How you been? Mr. Hernandez, how you been?
I sit down, he says,
Alfred
how is Alfred Close? That's the first question he asked me. He doesn't care about Paul or catfishing.
How you doing, Cat?
He doesn't care about Reverend. He doesn't even care about me. He only cares about Alfred Close. However, everybody, Vicky Vibes is here. Oh, it's a special day in the house. Vicky Vibe is here. If I knew Vicky was coming, I would have tried to look more cute. I don't look that great.
How you doing, Ricky?
Hi, Ricky. Joe says hi, Ricky. GV's in the house. Everybody's here. Look at this. Everybody's in the house. We got 3 people, it says on my thing, but it looks like there's more than 3 in here. We got a brand new channel, Joe. It's the same. Joe says, what's the name of the channel? I go, Boogie Bob. It's Boogie Bob Live. And I'm getting people in the messages going, Bob, where you been? I ain't seen you in 2 weeks. Well, I've been on. I'm just doing the new channel. The old channel is history. It's not a mystery. It's history, and here's how it goes. We started a new channel. We're going to have the same stuff, except we're going to probably try to do it in a more streamlined, intimate setting. And Joe, with 8,000 subscribers, we would get 100 people, 80 people watching our thing. Last night we had almost 80 with 300 people. So I knew it would work. Huge shout out to Rev. I knew it would work if we streamlined it. It was weird because I had 8,000 subscribers. Every day I have the same 100 of you guys, which I'm very happy to have. And I hope I continue to have the same 100 of you guys.
Hi, Paul. How are you doing?
And,
okay.
Joe don't care. You don't care, do you, Joe? Tell him.
How are you?
How are you, Mr. Vacation? Hey, look, Joe, Charlie Manson's in the house.
How you doing, Charlie?
Hi, Charlie. How are you, Charlie? Whitney Houston's here,
That's
Joe?
Manson who killed a lot of people.
I don't know why Charlie Manson would come to our show, yeah. Well, Whitney Houston's here, Joe.
How are you doing, Mrs. Whitney?
Mrs. Whitney. Hi, Mrs. Whitney. Joe, you ready to start the news?
Yeah.
We got exciting news for you. Not really. Exciting news. I put it on this side. Joe can't see me or hear me. Not really. Joe, you ready? Look at this.
Right.
Pop this. Pop this balloon. Joe, for the first week that I saw this on the news, I thought this was the moon, a full moon, and the shadow was this thing going past. But no, that's an actual balloon, Joe. Guess where it's from?
That's from China, but it didn't, actually, it didn't pass New York. It passed
correct.
Northwest.
Yeah, it passed,
not from New York.
Tonight they're a little upset because it's like over South Carolina or somewhere. I don't know.
It flew from Canada to northwest of USA.
Well, it must have started off in China if it's a Chinese balloon.
Well, actually, they try to shoot it down, the Canadians.
Really?
They failed.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that China has satellites above us. We have satellites above them. And satellites, there's no territory in space, so you can put a satellite anywhere you want, and it circles the Earth or vice versa. And we have very, very good satellites. China has satellites just as good as we do. They could see. Alfred says it was shot in Myrtle Beach. I don't know what that means.
It did.
I don't know. I think Alfred's trying to stir up some controversy. Let's get on with the news, Joe. You're the weather man. What's the weather?
The weather is very cold. It's 13 degrees outside.
So I got up this morning and I said, hi, Bixby. because that's how you turn on my phone for Amazon, for Android. Hi Bixby, it turned on, and it says, what's the weather? 3 degrees, Joe. It was 3 degrees when I got up at 6:45 this morning to go to Times Square. Guess what I did, Joe? I went back and got in my bed. I ain't going to Times Square at 3 degrees. I can't do it. And Joe, while you were in the Poconos, I was here poking holes.
Poconos is
Sorry,
double cold than here.
Double cold than here.
And
What does that mean?
It snows over there. Here we have no snow.
Is that where you were, in the Poconos, Joe?
Yeah.
So Joe, did you hear what I said?
I played soccer with my grandchildren.
In the house?
No, in the yard. They have a big yard.
Joe, you're telling me your ass was walking around playing soccer?
In the sub-0 degrees. You won't believe it.
I won't believe it.
Because, don't forget, I'm going to play for United States team in the Olympics.
That's true.
In 2026.
Can you imagine?
So don't forget, it's me is going to let the United States team win.
I can't wait for that.
So watch it. I think over 1 billion people are going to watch me playing for.
I think Joe might be delusional. I don't know what's going on with Joe. Joe, did you take your medication this morning?
No, they know. Right. They know. They saw me 60 years ago. They saw me play.
60 years ago, you were 75.
They remember.
60 years ago, you were 75 years old, Joe. Hey, look at this, Joe. Lourdes, that's her name. Anybody know who Lourdes is? Very sad story. It's more embarrassing than anything. She's Madonna's child, Joe. She's the first child of Madonna.
How you doing, child?
Hi, child. Girl.
You're a lucky girl.
You're a lucky girl, born with a silver spoon in her mouth.
Born with the diamond
spoon. The problem is, Joe, she went to the fashion show, and she was denied entry. Because once you get there at 6 o'clock, they was like, nope, somebody getting fired. Nobody spends more money on fashion than Madonna. She's been doing the fashion show thing forever. Her daughter is, you can see, there's her daughter's fashion. Super cute. And Lourdes, out of fashion. They didn't let her in, Joe. And of course the paparazzi sitting there cracking these horrible jokes. It says, Lourdes Leon, the oldest child of Madonna, is dejected.
Well, they invite me to go to the show, and I told them, excuse me, today the weather is very freezing.
Joe's as you know, Joe's a very fashionable.
I appreciate your invitation, but I will stay back home.
It says happy birthday, Jamie.
How you doing, Jamie?
Is it Jamie's birthday?
Happy birthday.
Jamie Vogel's birthday today, Joe. So we're going to do our segment when we get there. Joe, you're going to sing happy birthday?
Happy birthday.
We will make sure that Joe sings you a beautiful ballad of happy birthday. And by the way, they're always custom because Joe doesn't know how the song happy birthday goes, so he puts his own spin on it. You never know what you're going to get. Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get with a Jordan Joe birthday shout out. They're all custom. So happy birthday, Jamie. I will not forget to shout you out. White House shrugs at Chinese spy machine. I don't think it's that big a deal, folks, because Joe, if it was a big spy machine, it's a balloon. They have satellites that could actually take pictures of this paper right here. Well, not here because I'm in a building. But if you're walking around outside and you pick your nose, they can see it in Nova Scotia. They've got satellites that can do all that. So I don't know that a balloon would, you can't even fly it. It just kind of floats. Maybe not. I don't know. It'd be interesting to shoot it down, hopefully without starting a war, and then see what kind of data they've been sending. All right, we're going to keep it moving, Joe, because I don't care. Joe, something that you might like. Brand new. This is brand new, folks. This is a Boogie Bob exclusive. The MTA. Do you know what the MTA stands for, Joe?
The Metro... the subway?
It is the subway. It's the Metro Transit Authority. Joe, they've got they're just unveiling them. They said these subways have been for the last 7 presidents, since like Nixon. These subway trains, Joe, they just kind of update them a little bit, but it's the same old train. They're going to wheel out some new trains in the next, I don't know, 8 months. But they have a camera right on the roof of the subway, Joe, each train. What do you think? How long until those subway trains, how long until those kids smash those things with hammers, Joe?
Well, I imagine those new subways, they will have good cameras and good.
There's the camera.
Yeah,
It's like a little camera that you see at the nightclub or at the bank. It's got a little dome on top.
It will be safer.
It will be spray painted.
With the new cars coming in.
Yeah, that's a good name for it. Treaton says it's MTA is a money-taking agency.
Well, they take a lot of money every day. They're supposed to change those old cars.
Well, they are changing them. We'll see what happens. Tyree, Joe, you know the horrible, sad tale about Tyree. God, I hate when you get old and you can't remember. No disrespect to Tyree. What the heck is Tyree's last name? I have been Nichols, Tyree Nichols. I apologize to him and his family. From Memphis, Joe, the cops killed him. I know you've seen the videos. Horrible and horrific. 5 cops were fired, arrested. They're all being charged with murder. There's a 6th cop now has been arrested. I don't know if it's the white cop or not. My friend Kyle, who's an African-American man, sent me the thing 3 days before it even hit the news. He said, Bob, why is this white cop not charged with anything? And if you watch the video, the first guy in there tasing him was a white cop. You see a white hand. And that cop was finally identified. A 6th Memphis police officer, Joe, it's pretty dark in here, I can't see nothing, has been fired for his role in the fatal arrest of Tyree Nichols. The department announced Friday that Officer Preston Hemphill, that's the white guy, Officer Preston Hemphill, has been terminated after administration investigation found that he violated multiple department policies during Nichols' January 7th arrest. Joe, you saw the video? They murdered him.
Yeah, well, if you want to read this newspaper, change your eyeglasses. You have eyeglasses from the 17th century.
Dude, it's dark in here.
This is from the 17th century eyeglasses you wear. I can see it.
Read that, Joe. Read the story about Memphis right there.
I don't have to read it.
You don't have to read it?
This is going to be a long story. And
it's going to be a long day because I can't see nothing.
They're going
here's how
after court.
Here's how I read in Joe's apartment. Joe's got a 3-watt light bulb. Here's how I read it, Joe. The Memphis Emergency Medical Responders License. I can't read.
Okay.
I can read that. Okay. Joe's memory hole.
Okay, justice will reveal.
You used to have a lamp on here on the table. What happened?
Justice will reveal, Bobby.
Justice will reveal. Or prevail.
Let me see if I can find you the other.
I can't see them. Joe, I can see her. If you have Kylie's phone number, it's important that I talk to her. It's just a business proposal that I need to talk to her at Red Lobster, if possible. Tesla reviewers clear Musk. I don't care. Teen smuggle wreck. Look at this. There's the car. There's a teen smuggle wreck. I could read that. Valerie, thank you so much. I'm going to call her at 777-9311. How you doing, Valerie? Joe needs to know how you're doing. Uh-oh. Look at this. Joe found a lamp. Look at this. Joe found a lamp. All right. Look at, he's plugging it in. You got to plug. I think you got to turn it upside down, Joe. Take the plug.
There's something wrong with this. Twist it.
And then you pull that. Oh, what? Oh my God.
That's good.
Look at that. Oh, Joe, bless your heart.
How is everything?
How, Mr. Vacation? I saw the light. I saw the light. Joe, let's pull this in even closer. Whoops.
Okay, I'm
I
still
think-
closer.
I mean,
Okay.
no, let me see this, Joe. I think it works. I just gotta lean it at an angle. Joe, this is why we were voted the worst newscast. Look at that. My eyes have seen the power of the glory of the Lord. Police camera captures a scene after two alleged smugglers wreck a stolen car following a high-speed chase and badly injured a migrant. Oh boy, they injured a migrant, Joe. I don't know if the migrant was driving. This is a horrific moment. Two baby-faced smugglers, ages 12 and 15. 12 and 15-year-old smugglers, Joe, crashed their vehicle on a Texas highway while trying to outrun law enforcement, severely injuring an illegal migrant that they were smuggling in their trunk. The ordeal unfolded after a 15-year-old driver led authorities on a chase in Frio County, just west of San Antonio, on Wednesday, the Texas Department of Public Safety said. Dashcam footage captured the moment the teen driver lost control, running from the cops in a car, Joe. Lost control in the wet conditions and vaulted the vehicle of an embankment. I'm having trouble here. The vehicle they were in had reportedly been stolen. So it's kids are in a stolen car, Joe, and because they're 15 and 12, nothing's going to happen to them. The boys, who haven't been identified but are both from San Antonio, could be heard crying out for help from the overturned wreck as officers used hammers and picks to smash the windows. Please help me out, sir. Now it's sir. They're driving. You'll never catch me, you pigs. They wreck. Oh, sir, please help me, sir. Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. Colleen finally found us, Joe. Colleen's been asking me for... where you been, Bob?
Everything. Look at Rabbi. He looks
Look
like
at
a
Robert.
raccoon.
I look like a raccoon. I don't know what that means.
Is it?
I look like a damn raccoon,
Yeah,
according
yeah.
to Joe.
Yeah.
I think Joe's taking a swipe at me. Please help me out, sir. One of the teens was screaming. The migrant, who also hasn't been named, suffered incapacitating injuries.
Oh,
I don't like that word, incapacitating, Joe.
that's bad.
Was taken to a hospital for treatment. The 15-year-old was charged with human smuggling, causing bodily injury. Authorities said his 12-year-old passenger was reported runaway. Boy, this story couldn't get no worse. The hell?
The kid ran away.
The kid was a runaway. The 12-year-old was a runaway. This is Kylie Jenner. She's a billionaire. If she's into older, not so successful, kind of slouchy loser guys, I got one just for her. Kylie Jenner showers in the beach in Turks and Caicos. That's where my partner is right now. She is in Turks and Caicos. Let's see, over the moons about Jupiter. Want to hear about Jupiter, Joe?
Yeah.
Astronomers have discovered 12 new moons around Jupiter, putting the total count at a record-breaking 92 moons. We got one moon, Joe. Jupiter's pretty selfish.
Well, we are the size of a moon compared to Jupiter.
All right. That's more than any other planet in our solar system. Saturn, the one-time leader, is second with 83 moons, Joe. Jupiter moons were added recently to a list by the International Astronomical Union. Joe, is there true that you have a moon around Uranus?
Uranus has 83, I think. Already.
You have 83 moons in Uranus, Joe? That's crazy. Joe doesn't never get any
Well,
of my
some
crappy
of those
jokes.
moons are so tiny.
Some of your moons are
The
tiny.
size, maybe the size of a truck or,
Little tiny.
Yeah, tiny.
Joe, does size matter?
Size of the moon matter. Yes.
All right.
The gravity of Jupiter is so huge and so strong that it can actually eat us up in seconds. You know,
Well, the one thing I don't want is Uranus to eat me up. I do not want
see
that.
the whole planet of
Okay, here we go, Joe. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Santos. I lied to everyone, he says. Really? It's the only lie he didn't tell was that he lied. I only lied about the lies I lied about. Disgraced Long Island Representative George Santos openly admitted that he effed up and lied to everyone, a secret recording reveals. Now they got him on recording. Like we needed a... Hi, Don Gordon. Look who's here, Joe. Don Gordon's in the house.
How you doing, Don?
The serial liar made
Joe
the
Hernandez, how you doing?
Hi, Joe Hernandez.
Yes.
I want to know if size matters, ladies. It's not the ocean in the motion, it's the boat in the... Opioid doc to walk free. I don't care. A happy couple. A day after New Jersey councilwoman was shot dead, her husband wished her a happy birthday. There's the husband. There's the woman who was shot and killed. New Jersey politician, Joe, shot and killed in her...
By your husband, huh?
Not yet. They haven't put two and two together yet, but I'm sure they're checking every single resource to see who it is. I don't care about this. Minimum wage up. Give me some. I don't care. Arkansas to limit drag acts. Really? That's what you have to do with your time, Arkansas?
Well, listen, Robert, we are going to go on strike for our minimum wage
All right.
increase. Otherwise, we're going to go on strike.
When I was at White Castle the other day, it said, now hiring White Castle. Minimum wage starts at 17 at White Castle. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like their burgers.
Some places across the country, Joe, minimum wage is still like $7.
Oh.
You can't survive on that. You certainly couldn't survive
Well,
on that in New York.
17 is good.
They just opened a new White Castle on 8th Avenue, Joe. You like their burgers?
Where?
8th Avenue and like 39th.
That's the same.
No, one block down.
One block down.
One block down. It's
Yeah,
not the same one.
I remember.
It's a rough neighborhood, though, right, Joe? Go in there to eat your burger, you get stabbed while you're eating your burger.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Arkansas to limit drag acts. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. What a piece of work she is. She's the daughter. She was the press secretary for Donald Trump, one of the biggest liars in the history of Earth. She was extremely horrible. But Sarah Sanders Huckabee Jr., whatever the hell her name is, all these guys claim to be Christians, and as a Christian, I shouldn't judge them, but they're all liars. They're all liars. They are not Christians. If they were Christians, they wouldn't be trying to destroy everybody's lives. That's just not what you do. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is set to ban drag shows from public property in the state. A move that says she will protect children. So these drag shows are what's indoctrinating your children. You are a very sad parent. She's playing to her base. Don Gotti. Ooh. I don't talk about Don Gotti. A new book by former Manhattan prosecutor compares Donald Trump to the late mob boss John Gotti and blames District Attorney Alvin Bragg for botching a probe of the ex-president. And in the book, it's called People versus Donald Trump, an inside account. Joe, if we had $10 for every book written about Donald Trump, just $10 for every book about Donald Trump, we could be pretty rich. There are thousands. I'm not going to get into it. Treason Fest versus the Queen. A man has admitted to committing treason after showing up at the Windsor Castle with a loaded crossbow threatening to kill Queen Elizabeth II. Too late, my friend. She is deceased. Jaswant Singh Chale was stopped at the royal residence on Christmas Day 2021. Officials saw him dressed like something out of a vigilante movie. He was 19 at the time. He informed officers at the scene that he intended to kill the Queen with a crossbow.
which that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
She didn't hurt anybody.
His idea was he appeared at a London Old Bailey by video link. I don't care about him. This is Queen Bee. Do you know who this is, Joe? Have you ever heard of Beyonce?
Well, she has a dress from the
Got a dress from the
15th
Victorian
century.
century. It might be from the 1200s.
Yeah.
Queen Bee is going on concert. Ticket master. They've already been hacked. There's people. My lady friend is trying to go. The cheapest ticket you'll find anywhere is going to be $1,000 for nosebleed seats. And you have to go through 4 or 5 step verification. It's not like the old days where you can go buy a ticket. What happens, Joe, is the scalpers want to buy the tickets. They want to buy all the tickets and then resell them. They buy them for $120. They resell them for $1,200 or $2,000. So it's very, very difficult to get a ticket to go see Beyonce. Trust me. All right, let's see what's going on with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. A lot of times people confuse you and The Rock, Joe. You look very similar. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's mom is doing okay after she was in a horrific car crash. The Rock posted a photo of extensive damage to the side of her car. Her name is Atta. This woman has survived lung cancer, a tough marriage, head-on collision with a drunk driver, and attempted suicide, and she is surviving to this day. I pray for him and his entire family. The Rock Johnson, Joe, is The Rock, one of the most famous actors. He's been on my show. One of the most famous actors in the world. He was one of the most famous wrestlers in the world, but a lot of you that don't follow wrestling might not know his father, Rocky Johnson.
I wrestled with him one time.
Joe wrestled his father, Rocky Johnson.
Father.
Rocky Johnson was a tag team champion along with Pat Patterson. He was one of the all-time greats. Also was a sparring partner for a while with Muhammad Ali. That's a fact. All right, we're
I am the one who trained Muhammad Ali.
That we all know, Joe.
That you know that.
Joe, I think you should do the news starting with this George. What's this George guy? What's this George guy that lies about everything? George Santos. It's the George and Joe show. Joe won the Pulitzer Prize back in October. Congratulations on your Pulitzer Prize, Joe.
Well, you can...
Tell, by the way, I use my walk. I'm a ladies' man. Joe, you ready for this?
Yes, 150 cats found Westchester House. That's a nice one.
It's called a Horde Horror. It should be Horde Horror by Whore of Whoreville. 150 cats found in Westchester House, Joe, in one house. Can you imagine the stench of that house? First of all, it's very hard. I have 4 cats to keep our litter box as clean as possible. My little babies, I love them all, but Joe, if you're not on top of it, I have my lady friends come by. If you're not on top of it, Joe, it's going to be a problem.
Well, today...
Also, feeding them is a problem.
Well, today we sent my cats to the doctor. We see what the doctor has to say.
Well, I pray for your cats, Joe.
His name is Martin.
Martin, I like it. We just took Chucky.
Yes.
You know, my lady friends come and go, but the cats stay in their lives forever. And one of my lady friends just took Chucky to the hospital. Chucky has got dental problems. Worse than me.
The cats, when they have dental problem, they don't eat. So.
$3,600 they want.
Yeah.
I was like, they just want to take all his teeth out. He's just going to have no teeth, which is fine for an older cat. But Chucky, I ain't got it, Playboy. You're going to have to wait a little bit till I get it. Ex-cop and slay suicide, Joe.
Ex-cop?
Ex-cop and slay suicide. Guys, first of all, let's not commit suicide. Rev, can you put up the suicide hotline number, please? The 988, I think it is. Guys, if you want to talk, if you're having thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, please call me. Call the hotline. I will not judge you. I don't I really don't want anyone to commit suicide, but more so, I don't want you to kill someone and then commit suicide. That's a horrible, horrible thing to do, to take someone with you. A retired NYPD officer shot and killed her boyfriend before turning the gun on herself. 988, thank you, R.E. Sanders. 988, Joe, that's a new number. It's like 911, but 988, you can call 988 if you're having problems thinking about hurting yourself or depression. I suffer from depression. Joe doesn't get depressed. Joe, I've never seen you depressed. What's the problem?
Well,
You too good for depression?
Well, I drink a cup of coffee and I think about it.
All right.
And I forget about it.
No, that was that easy for all of us. A retired NYPD officer shot and killed her boyfriend, then killed herself in apparent murder-suicide in Brooklyn on Friday. The ex-cop and the man were found with gunshot wounds to their heads inside of the home on Beverly Road near 48th Street in Flatbush. We both live on 48th Street, Joe.
That's Brooklyn.
But that's Brooklyn, not Manhattan. We live in Manhattan, 48th Street. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. Distraught relatives were gathered outside the home on Friday night as the couple's bodies were removed by the medical examiner. Police did not provide additional information. I pray for the family. Look at right there, you got that. Joe Hernandez is a counselor. If you need to talk, guys, please reach out to Joe. He's also a kind, compassionate person.
Alfred Cruz is a counselor, yes.
I don't know.
He always asks me how you're doing.
All right.
And I tell him I'm fine, thank you.
How you doing?
Yeah.
3 stabbed in Harlem, Joe. 2 women and a man were all stabbed in a domestic dispute in Harlem at a public housing complex Friday night. The mayhem unfolded at the building on the Polo Ground Towers and Frederick Douglass Boulevard around 10:30 p.m. Freezing cold, and you're getting stabbed in the cold, Joe. Unidentified man stabbed a 36-year-old woman in the torso, cut a 23-year-old woman's hand, and then slashed a 41-year-old man. All the victims were taken to the hospital and are expected to live. Joe, it's so cold outside last night, I felt like I was getting stabbed. I was in Times Square. I ran across a family, Joe. This family was a woman. She had a son. She was crying. The son was crying. And then the third child, I don't know if it was a boy or girl to this day, they had a mask and a hat on looking like I do. So I tried to find out if it was a boy or girl. I couldn't tell. I think it was a boy.
The children were crying going to school yesterday.
It was so cold, Joe. The kids were crying in school, but they were in Times Square at 8 or 9 o'clock last night, whatever time I was live. And I went out there specifically to help people, and I come across this woman. She's standing there crying over by the where they recruit people for the Army. And I could see her across the street. I cut my life short right there, and I took them to McDonald's, Joe. I got her and the kids food. I got her a coffee, and the kids wanted ice cream.
And this weather,
And it's so cold, they just probably never had damn ice cream.
well,
I gave her whatever I had on me, and I took them and got them food. And
well, I like ice cream. Summer
In the
or
winter?
winter. No problem.
dude, it's too cold. Anyways, it was a very traumatic, horrible. I couldn't even sleep last night thinking about. She said they had a place to stay. I ain't gonna stay at my place. I can't do that. But I've done it many times. But she said they had a place to stay, and they were just really hungry. And the one kid is bundled up, and the other kid's in a hoodie, a damn hoodie. I would have gave her my jacket if I thought the kid could fit it. Ice cream machine was actually working, Robbie. Anyways, I prayed for them all night long, and I pray that they found comfort in each other. Let's get back to these 150 cats found in Westchester, Joe. Following the death of 2 people at this Yorktown Heights home, police discovered cats living in inhumane conditions and called the rescue team. A lot of times, Joe, these cats, you want to love these kids.
They eat their babies when they're hungry.
They get hungry, they'll start devouring each other, eat whatever they can. You go 3 days
That's
without
not
eating.
Not good.
And then, of course, horrible conditions. And there they are. Look at these cats sitting around trying to eat. And I can just imagine. It says 2 people were found dead, I guess.
Where?
A feline house of horrors was discovered this week in a Westchester County home where the 2 residents where the 2 residents mysteriously died and left behind roughly 156 starving and pregnant cats. Cats will reproduce, Joe. They'll have babies, and then they'll have babies with babies, and it's horrible. A worried family member of the late homeowners asked cops to check on the house on Monday, leading officers to uncover the sickening scene of animal suffering. The scores of felines were trapped in every room on the Cordial home. Every room. The doors are shut, Joe. There's no water. There's no food. They're just peeing and pooping. I just felt horrible. The walls, it was a railroad home, including the walls and ceilings. Officers called on the SPCA team to remove the ailing cats before they began investigating the death of the residents, who are reportedly husband and wife. Police did not suspect foul play, but the probe into the deaths was hindered by the sheer volume of cats, over 150 of them, Joe. The cats are all Abyssinian mixes who appear to have suffered years of neglect. Many of the cats were pregnant. I am sure they're going to have to destroy and put to death a lot of these cats. Distress that she gave the birth, the SPCA, I'm sorry, the felines were suffering from upper respiratory, eye, and skin infections, malnutrition, dehydration, and some more severe injuries. How much more severe can it be than that?
How could they keep those cats?
I think what happens, Joe, is like me. I have 4. If I saw a stray today that I could rescue, of course I'd rescue it. Then you have 5, and then mine are all fixed. Some people can't afford to get them fixed, and then you have 10 and 12, and you love cats, and nothing cuter than a kitten, so now you got 45.
Well, at least the SPCA came in and saved whatever.
I am going to make a donation to this particular SPCA as soon as I get home, and you guys can do that as well if someone wants to put up a link. They do great work. Haunted by a raccoon stairs. Look at this lady. There she is. And now look at the raccoon. He's just staring at her. He's probably staring through the damn window. A family of raccoons living in a crevice outside of a Bronx woman's apartment is giving the tenant nightmares. But the landlord won't do anything to block the critters. They're going to end up killing them. Unfortunately, that's what they do. She told the Post, Heidi Villanueva of Morrisonia, Bronx, I guess.
Just give him a few pieces of bread.
Hey, Joe, they got 50 raccoons living out there. Have tormented her for months by scratching at her bedroom window.
They want to eat.
They're peering in, menacing, like... they stare at me all night, and it's creepy as hell. Get a curtain, lady. Get a curtain. They'll just look at me like I'm bothering them, like this is their home.
You do bother them.
You do. Joe's always on the side of the animal. Just remember that. It doesn't matter. I read about the 2 people that died here. Joe doesn't care. He cares about the cats. He don't care. Joe, do you care about this lady or the raccoons?
No, the raccoons. Why she lives there?
Well, maybe she should just move, Joe.
Territory.
But her landlord in the building, Super, did little to help. The building owner, Chestnut, sent New York One, which first reported the story, a statement from the super named Joe. Of course the super's name is Joe. Is it you, Joe? Is that you?
That was me.
I have not seen any recent sightings.
Don't bother the raccoons.
Leave the raccoons alone.
Just give them a few beans bread every day and some water, and they will leave you alone.
The tenant had an idea for the landlord to brick up the window, but the landlord said that is illegal and we will not do it. Look at this, Joe. Owl too wise for catching. You ever try to catch one of these owls? No, they're very difficult. It's a horned owl. The brazen bird, a real Houdini. Houdini. The person who wrote that line should be punched in the face and fired. An owl was on the loose Thursday after vandals set him free from his enclosement at Central Park Zoo. That's horrible. The Eurasian eagle owl named Flaco. You guys got to understand, if they're in the zoo, okay, I get it, it's horrible. But when you let them loose, they're not equipped.
They
to
will
live
starve.
out there.
They will
They're going to starve, freeze to death, and die. So you just basically... I used to have a joke I used to crack. I'm going to go to Red Lobster and I'm going to let all the lobsters loose, Joe, on the highway. You're not helping them. You're killing them.
No, because if they let him live in the zoo, he'd be better off.
He's going to eat. He's already in the zoo. I know it sucks, but you can't.
And they have doctors.
He's domesticated. Absolutely. Joe is right. For once in his life, Joe is right. You're right, Joe. They discovered him missing around 8:30 p.m. The exhibit had been vandalized and the stainless steel mesh cut. About a half hour later, Upper East Siders spotted Flacco on 5th Avenue and 60th Street, notified the NYPD, but what are you going to do? It's not going to just catch him. You have to set up a trap. Central Park is very large. He's going to probably be dead in a day or two. The coldest day of the year.
He is an owl.
He's an owl, hopefully.
Okay, they live on mice, actually. They like mice.
They do.
They like
They
to
do,
eat
that's
mice.
for sure. They
Yeah,
do live
they
on...
do.
Now, Joe, you were explaining to me that you got a new segment for your astroscopes. What are you planning
Well,
on
the
doing?
girl, whoever had it, we read his horoscope today.
We have a
Whoever had-
birthday. I'm doing the news. I completely forgot whose birthday it was. Can someone please remind us? I am so sorry. I ain't slept in 8 days. Remind us whose birthday it is so Joe can sing happy birthday. And you don't even know who it is yet, Joe. It's Jamie Vogel.
Birthday to Jamie. We celebrate your birthday today and forever and ever. We wish you live more than 100 years. We love you. Happy birthday to you.
I told you you're
All
never
right,
going to get
then.
the same. Lightning don't strike twice with Joe's birthdays. It's just going to be all. Joe likes to freestyle. He's going to get out there and let that melodic voice.
They will
I'm
steal my.
wet.
If I give you,
If he gives you the formula, they're going to steal it.
no, they steal it because I don't let them do that.
Well, it's Jamie Vogel's birthday. Do you have a special horoscope, astroscope, just for Jamie Vogel's birthday, Joe?
Yeah, we do.
What is it?
We got it here, right here. Okay, how you doing, Jimmy?
Hi, Jamie. Hi, Jamie Vogel.
Okay, a Sun Uranus link on your birthday means there will be some pretty big upheavals over the coming 12 months, but if you stay calm and stick to your long-term objective, not only will you survive, but compared to most people, you will thrive. All right, Jamie. Happy
Congratulations,
birthday.
Jamie. I don't know what the hell he said, but something about you thriving. That is big. Big, big. Really big, 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 big shoe. You guys like it when I do my Ed Sullivan impression? Joe, Ed Sullivan used to stand on stage. Yes, he talked crazy. We have a really big shoe. But Joe, he put his arms like this. He's standing like this. Hey, guys, I think the guy must have been mentally ill. Our next show is... I can't even reach that far. Our next show is I used to yell. No, I didn't see him live on the repeats. I yell at the screen. Put your arms down. You look like a moron. I'm such a dummy.
You blew
I'm a
up
hater.
like a balloon. What do you ate?
don't know.
About 12 burgers? Or?
Oh, don't say
Before you
burgers,
came
Joe.
here?
No, I look good. I look good. I look thin. I look skinny. It's just a big ass coat.
He
My
got-
only
he-
good winter coat. I got
I'm
20 coats.
afraid to come near him. He'll swallow me. Oh, look
Why
at the
is that?
size of me.
Look at Joe insulting me today for no reason. Joe, I'm very
How
hurt.
you doing, Joe Hernandez? How is everything
Joe
with
tries
you?
to change the subject. Whenever Joe hurts me,
All
he changes
right.
the subject.
Okay.
Joe, as you know, I can dish it out, but I can't take it. I'm not good at taking it. I'm not that good at it. Joe, you got any astroscopes or birthdays or anything you want to talk about?
Well, I have born on
Born on this day.
Some important people born today, and I would remind my
Parole officer.
viewers.
Okay.
There are some great people born on this day.
Guys, I don't know what Joe's talking about. Look how good I look. He's insane. My body looks crazy right now. I'm getting ready to take my shirt off just to prove it. I look good. I look great. I got a Carl's Jr. scarf. I'm the only person in America with a Carl's Jr. scarf. But I look good, Joe. What are you talking about? Look at my neck bone. And... All right. Go ahead, Joe. I don't know. You're saying
Star, what?
you were doing your thing, Joe. Do you still want to do your thing?
Yeah, born on this day, Charles Lindbergh.
I don't believe it. That's a lie. I don't buy it. I'm gonna ask Ambrose. By the way, tomorrow's Ambrose's birthday, so we gotta do a show tomorrow. I'm gonna ask Ambrose to run a check real quick because I don't know if I necessarily believe
Charles Lindbergh, first to fly across the Atlantic.
What was it? His birthday, or did he fly across the? Yep. Look at Ambrose. Ambrose said it's true.
He was born on this day.
Joe's starting off the show pretty good. First of all, we've heard of the person.
Very sad news afterwards. They kidnapped his only kid.
That's correct. They kidnapped his child out of his crib, and they were both the guy and the woman, both German, were, I forget their damn names. They were both captured. A lot of people said it was a fake trial. It wasn't true. They had the ransom money was marked by the FBI or whoever it was. I don't think we had an FBI at the time, but the ransom money was marked by the government. Those bills turned up in a small area, and they arrested a man and a woman, his wife. They put them to death, Joe. They killed them both.
What happened to the kid?
The kid was found dead in a field about 2 miles away. Horrific and horrible. This is at the time. Charles Lindbergh was the most famous man on the planet. He had crossed the world and done his thing, Mediterranean or the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, was it, Joe? He first flight across the Atlantic. He was the most famous man on the planet. And Charles Lindbergh, he came home and his baby was kidnapped out of his crib. They had to climb up They climbed up to the second floor on a handmade ladder. Later on, they found the ladder was built from this couple's home somehow. Anyways, the couple denied to their last death. Last breath. I think they were hung. They were hung back in those days, Joe. They give you a trial. If you're guilty, you ain't sitting on death row. You're getting hung.
That's what they're supposed to do today.
I ain't said it. Joe
don't
said
give them time and don't spend any money on it. If you kill, you be killed.
If you kill, you be killed. That's the new shirt, the new merch. By the way, I gotta get to 1,000 subscribers before I can sell merch again.
How you doing, everybody? Subscribe your friends to our show.
How you doing, everybody? That's the other shirt. How you doing, everybody? Subscribe your friends to our channel. That'll be Joe's new merch.
Thank you, Mr. Merch.
Thank you, Mr. Merch. I think Joe thinks that Mr. Merch is the guy who makes the shirts.
All right. We have Rosa Parks.
What do you know about Rosa Parks, Joe?
Civil rights activist who refused to give up her seat to a white passenger.
That is correct. Rosa Parks worked all day, Joe. She was sitting on the bus. White passenger wanted the seat. Back then, they made the black folks sit in the back. Rosa Parks said, "Child, I'm tired." She didn't say tired. She said, "I'm tired." I don't think there's an R in tired. She was tired. She absolutely refused. She was the spark that ignited the whole civil rights movement. Of course, there was many others who came after. Martin Luther King marched for her in Selma. But it was Rosa Parks who said, "I'm not getting up." They arrested her, Joe. They threw her in jail. And guess what, Joe? Instead of a bunch of violence, what they did, the black folks said, "You know what? We're going to hurt them with the money." They all said, "We will not ride that bus together. What we will do is we will call all our black friends, who have a bus or have a car. We will carpool. We will walk to work. We will ride bicycles, but we will not give you a damn dime. And that's what turned it all around. Rosa Parks, my hero. I cry when I think about her. What a beautiful, wonderful woman. She changed the world, Joe. She changed it with class. Rosa Parks, I love Rosa Parks. If I got a tattoo, I don't have any. If I got a tattoo, it'd be a damn tattoo. Of
No
Rosa Parks.
appetite.
So,
Stop the appetite everywhere.
stop the what?
Appetite. You know.
Apartheid. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because
Rosa Parks is a.
we live in a civilized country, so
We do.
we don't agree with.
I definitely don't.
Apartheid.
And back then, guys, this wasn't 100 years ago. This was the 60s.
George Romero.
God bless her. What do you know about George Romero, Joe?
He's a film director.
He is a film director. He brought you movies like Night of the Living Dead and
Father of the zombie.
he was the father of the zombie movies.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead was his first one. It gave people heart attacks, Joe, when they went to see it.
Yeah.
They're coming to get you, Martha. Margaret. They're coming to get you, Margaret.
I actually watched those movies.
Oh,
I
those
like-
movies.
Yeah.
I actually, Joe, believe it or not, I met him. He came into my bathroom at Planet Hollywood, and he was a cult hero. It was before the internet. But he was a
Really?
huge cult hero back then, Joe. This was in '92. I don't know someone Google when he died. I don't know when he died, but George Romero was a hero to all the younger horror genre film guys because he was doing stuff that none of them had ever. Barbara, oh my God, look at Joe Hernandez with the wind. That's right. I said Margaret, then I said Margie. It was Barbara. They're coming to get you, Barbara. If you don't know the movie, it starts off in a cemetery. A guy and his sister are going to put flowers on the 2017. Thank you. He was very nice to me, by the way. He was also walking around smoking inside of Planet Hollywood, which you're not allowed to do.
We have Alice Cooper.
What do you know about Alice Cooper, Joe? That's my new segment.
There's a
What do you know about it?
rock singer.
School's out for the summer. School's out forever. Alice Cooper, not a huge fan. I like him. Met him. Nice guy. Super nice guy. Just wasn't my genre. There's a lot of people out there that I know loved him. Still love him. He's still around. Alice Cooper is a legend in the metal genre. And he had snakes and bats. And everybody wanted to be Alice Cooper. All those other guys, the Ozzies and them, they came up and wanted to be Alice Cooper. He was the first one to do the big show. I think School's Out, the only song I can name. There's another couple big ones. But Alice Cooper, certainly, he's still out, still doing it, believe it or not. What else you got, Joe?
We have Lawrence.
Alice Cooper, she was good.
Yeah, 75 years old, Alice.
What do you know about her, Joe? What do you know about Alice? Was she a pretty lady?
Well, actually, she was pretty, and she's still pretty, you know, for her age.
Guess what else, Joe? She was a guy.
She was?
Alice Cooper is a boy.
Really?
Yes, he's a rock and roll god. He's a rock and roller. Yeah, his name is Alice, but he's not a female.
Is not a female?
Nope. Not gay,
Oh,
not feminine, just a guy named Alice.
Okay, no problem.
Like Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson was a boy. Marilyn Manson still is a boy. Marilyn Manson took the name because he thought it was androgynous and he could copy Alice Cooper, the first to do it.
Lawrence Taylor,
Lawrence Taylor, what do you know about him, Joe?
NFL player for
NFL
New York
player.
Giants.
He's considered the greatest linebacker of all time. He's the Michael Jordan of linebackers. I actually was very, very friendly with him. All the Giants would come to Planet Hollywood. I was actually in a proposal of a giant Howard Cross, but that's another story. But he was just a really, really super nice guy. But he was a badass. Also became a horrible cocaine addict. Been arrested numerous times for coke and crack, underage prostitution, just everything bad that could happen to a huge superstar. One of the biggest of all time, Joe. And believe me, the defensive linemen and the linebackers, they don't get to shine like the quarterback or the basketball players. So for him to be such a wonderful excuse of a defensive linebacker. Joey crushed everybody. Crushed everybody. We got 61 people in here, 62 on my count. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
want to thank
everybody.
you guys. If you're new in here, first of all, feel free to hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. That's Old Man Jordan Joe. I'm Old Man Boogie Bob. We're two of the oldest YouTubers there is.
How you doing?
I'm still a player. Joe's been married for how long, Joe?
45 years.
45 years. I'm a player. I just
Thank
said
you.
Joe was up in the Poconos last week, and while Joe was in the Poconos, I was in New York poking holes. Joe doesn't even know what the hell I just said. The point is that
Play with your nose. Yeah.
I was playing with my nose. I don't know, Joe. I was poking nose.
We have.
Joe, just so I'm clear, we got 62 people in here, guys. For the last several years, we just hit 8,000 subscribers on our other channel, and with the 8,000 subscribers, we would only get 60 to 100 people a day in here. Sometimes it would be a little more, 60 to 100. So to have 62 in here with 350 subscribers as opposed to 8,000 is really special. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I hope that we can continue to grow the channel and have fun and do it right. What else you got, Joe?
We have a Clint Black.
What do you know about Clint Black, Joe?
He's a country singer.
He is.
He's 61 years old today.
He is. If you look up country singer in an almanac, do they still have almanacs? A dictionary? There's a picture of Clint Black. First of all, he wears a black hat everywhere he goes. Second of all, he plays an acoustic guitar, even though he's a great guitarist. And he's married to a famous lady, and I can't remember who the hell it is. I am so sorry. Yeah, guys, share the live if you like. Share the live. If you hate us, don't share it. If you love us, if you have an enemy, and you hate me and Joe, and you have an enemy, share us with the enemy. That'll show them. But if you like us, feel free to share us. We're going to get better as we go, I promise. What else you got, Joe?
Well, we have on a death.
So we did all the lives. We did all the birthdays. Now we're going to do the death.
We have some people actually died on this day. They're famous people.
Okay, we're not celebrating their death unless they're pieces of crap. Then we will. Hitler, I always celebrate.
We have Louis Jordan.
I don't even know who the hell that is, Joe.
He was a musician and band leader. Well, if you don't know him, it's okay. This last name is...
Oh, I can't wait to watch Joe butcher this.
Well, who is that?
Joe's going to butcher this. Go ahead,
Liberace. Who is that?
Liberace?
Yeah.
Liberace.
Liberace.
Joe. Liberace, Joe. He only had one name.
Liberace, his name.
I forgot what his first... He did have a first name.
He had a show.
He did.
Yeah, he had a show.
Joe Liberace is considered one of the all-time greatest showmen of all time. He used to wear huge jewelry. Huge jewelry. And he'd hold it out to the audience and goes, "You want to see my ring? Why not? You paid for it." That was his big joke. He played...
I believe he had a lot of jewelry.
He did have jewelry. He played Vegas a million times. As Liberace, if you're going to a Liberace show, you were going to see pomp and circumstance. You were going to see a Rolls Royce completely covered in mirrors like a disco ball on stage. Yeah. You're going to see these young, gorgeous hunks, which you didn't know. Those were his boyfriends. Those were his boy toys. Liberace was the most flamboyant human being that ever lived, but didn't come out as gay until he died. He died of AIDS in 1989.
Yeah, he died. But he did.
What day?
He died on. I think he had AIDS.
He did have AIDS.
Yes.
But he was a guy who just the story he tells is one time he was a brilliant piano player. And one time he went to play piano, and then he went to watch a showcase, and everybody always dressed in a black tuxedo. And he's looking up on stage, there's a black tuxedo with a black piano. He goes, "I don't want to be that person. I want everyone to notice me." That's why he wore the flamboyant outfits. And 1987 sounds about right, Rev. Thank you. Great movie on him on HBO, if you get a chance to check it out. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, we finished from that. But if you were born,
You had one dead person today, Joe. What the hell?
okay, if you were born in between
Take your time.
between January and February 19, which you are Aquarius, we have a horoscope for you.
Oh boy.
We can't do a lot of horoscopes because it takes time to do that.
All right.
But
We're at the 1 hour mark.
yeah, the people who were born during Aquarius time, they love being around others and exchanging new ideas all the time and communicated with all kind of people. They are creative and very successful.
Every Aquarius is very successful. Every single Aquarius
Very-
on the planet,
yeah.
according to Joe, is successful.
Very smart in everything they do.
Okay.
They tend to be long and for a long time. They have a strong desire to move and travel. Even they live to start a family, and they love to be married
They love to be married?
with
Well, that's not me.
with a lot of children.
With a lot of children? That's definitely
Yeah,
not me. What
yeah,
happened to me?
Yeah, no, I love that. I love children because I love my grandchildren, and
And your grandchild just turned 12.
so Aquarius people have a good time.
According to Joe, there's never been a failure who's an Aquarius. There's no homeless Aquarius, there's no drug addict
They
Aquarius.
love to be with people. They like to communicate with people, and they love to have a family.
Okay.
Like, family.
I love it. I love it. I think Joe's lying, but I love it. Hi, Arthur. How are you? Everybody pray for my dear friend Arthur. We love you. I hope you're doing well.
Okay, Mr. Arthur, how are you?
Joe, in other news, are you done with your birthdays and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. In other news, Gary Glitter. Gary Glitter was a very famous English pop star. I didn't follow him. He had multiple victims, sexual assault victims, under the age of 13, Joe.
Yeah, I remember.
He went to prison for a very long time. Disgraced British pop star and convicted pedophile Gary Glitter was released from prison Friday after serving half of his 16-year sentence. Got 16 years, did 8 years. 8 years. I'm sure he had a lot of visits from guys who didn't appreciate him doing that to children in his jail cell. Glitter-born Paul Francis Glad was set free from Dorchester's HMP prison on Friday. The Do You Want to Touch Me? That's his song. Do You Want to Touch Me?
He's coming back.
Joe, do you want to touch him? He was cased in 2015 after sexually abusing 3 young girls, all under the age of 13, at the height of his fame back in the 70s. His third victim was under the age of 10. I think he needs
Security.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Joe thinks he needs security. I think he needs Jesus. I was going to say he needs to be punched in his face, but that's the old channel. The new channel does not condone violence of any type. Well, some. A little violence here. Gang bust in a farm killing, Joe. 2 reputed gang members were arrested on Friday and charged with the murdering 6 people, including an infant boy and his teenage mother, in a Central California farming community. You remember that?
Yes.
That was a Jordan Joe exclusive.
I told you the story 2 weeks ago.
You
yeah.
did. You did. That was a
They
Jordan
caught the
Joe
guys who
exclusive.
did
They
it?
caught him. 2 reputed gang members were arrested on Friday and charged with murdering 6 people, including an infant boy,
Infant child, it
Yeah.
was 10 months old.
his teenage mother, and a Central California farming community last month in what authorities called a targeted massacre. The suspects, Angel Joseph Uribarti, 35, and Noah Beard, 25, were
How
taken
could
into
you-
custody by sheriff's deputies and federal agencies. They need to get dealt with in prison.
They're not, don't give them any prison, just shoot them.
Okay, that's Joe. I didn't say that. I agree with him. Hey, Thickety Wickets is in the house. Hi, Thickety. How are you? Everybody say hi to Thickety.
How
Thank you
doing,
for dropping by.
Thickety?
We appreciate it so
What
much.
is that, Hickety?
Thickety Wickets. Can't you say that with me, Joe? Thickety wicket.
Thickety wicket.
That's as good as you're going to get. That's as good as Joe gets. Hi, Thickety.
How you doing, Mr. Hernandez? How is it?
Joe changes the subject.
Reverend, my friend, how you doing?
If Joe can't pronounce it, he's going to just change the subject to somebody else. Joe, say hi to the Thickety Wickets. He says, hi, Steve.
How you doing, Steve?
Hi, Steve. Joe, bike ride of death. Oh, this is horrible. Ram and stab over white privilege. Look at this. There's the killer, I'm assuming. I could be wrong. There's the victim. And there's the bike ride, and there is the car. And I'm going to read it to you now, Joe. Vinnie Evan Smith, on the left, allegedly drove into the bicycle of Dr. Michael John Mammon, and then got out and stabbed him to death. He runs the guy over, but that's not good enough, Joe. He has to get out and stab him. A California man angrily mowed down a doctor at high speed as he was taking an afternoon bike ride before getting out of his Lexus and stabbing him to death. Michael John Mammon, 58, was riding in a bike lane on Pacific Coast Highway, minding his own damn business. I can imagine him telling his wife or his kids, hon, I'm going for a bike ride. Down the Pacific Coast Highway at Dana Point around 3 p.m. Wednesday when a driver slammed into him from behind. Camera footage from the nearby home. This is camera footage of the incident. Shows Mammon flying over the hood of a white Lexus. Officials previously said the suspect, Van Roy Smith, 39, then got out of the car brandishing a knife and inflicted more injuries, stabbing a man while he's laying on the ground from a car that you just ran him over with. This man deserves to go to prison for life and never get out. Am I lying, Joe?
You're right.
I'm right. I'm right once in a while. Ex-wife feared L.A. killer amid custody fight. An ex-wife of an increasingly reclusive Van Roy Smith. Here's the guy. Van Roy Smith. Now his ex-wife speaking out. She said she was scared that this guy was going to go around stabbing people. Look at this. Is this even a good review? Look at this. Clash in the Pan. Did you guys see when I did the Christmas tree lighting with my company? It was this place. New Rock Center Eateries look hideous, but taste great. That's a horrible review. Oh, it's really good food, but it looks hideous. Not a good thing. Look at this, Joe. Look at this, Joe. 240G fallen. Ferrari gets the shaft. This is a Ferrari falling down an elevator shaft, Joe. How horrible is that?
I saw that in my own eye. Not this one, but 2 years ago happened here on 49th Street in this garage.
A car fell off the top?
Yeah, the shaft just went down, boom, with the car inside.
What noise did it make again, Joe?
Oh, it's like a explosion.
Give me the boom again, Joe. I
Boom!
Like that's a boom.
And the car was damaged inside that.
This car.
elevator.
Listen to this one, Joe. This car was $240,000.
Yes.
Ugh. Baby theft killer gets 55 years. A Texas woman who's sentenced to 55 years behind bars after pleading guilty to murdering her best friend in a depraved scheme to abduct her newborn baby. Joe.
This is terrible news all the time.
This is a woman whose best friend had a baby.
Yeah.
So you go to her and you kill her to steal her baby.
This is double murder.
That's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing, Joe.
You know, double murder. Steal the baby.
It's her best friend in a desperate scheme to abduct her newborn baby and pass the infant off as her own. Megan Rose Muska, 37, kidnapped and killed her best friend Heidi Broussard in Austin on December 12th in 2019. She then stuffed her body in a duffel bag and placed it in a...
Hi, Joe.
That's Joe Dogs. That's my boy Joe Dogs calling. Placed it in a car... I can't. Kid slay. Mom blames medication. This mother killed her children. A Massachusetts mom, Lindsay Clancy, was overwhelmed and over-medicated on 12 different prescription drugs that were turning her into a zombie and causing her to experience homicidal thoughts that led her to allegedly strangling her 3 children. I think the doctors who give her all this medication should be, I just dealt with this for years with one of my friends. One of the major issues here is the horrific over-medication of drugs that cause homicidal ideation, suicidal intentions. And these doctors will give you medication, Joe, and keep it coming. You know why? Because the doctors get paid to keep you medicated. The opioid crisis in this country is horrible. Hollywood arsenal arrest. A disturbed ex-military man was busted in Hollywood high-rise with a terrifying arsenal of loaded weapons aimed at a public park. He was going to sit there and do like the guy in Las Vegas did, Joe. Sit there at a high-rise and shoot people in the park. With authorities, fear may have been ready for another massacre. Braxton Johnson, 25, was first confronted by cops for a mental health check after neighbors in the luxury 22-story building off Sunset Boulevard accused him of threatening to harm them. Neighbors said that they told the LA Times that Johnson used bizarre accents while claiming the CIA was after him. Thank God they called the police on this guy. And asked one woman if she needed anyone killed, he would happily do it for her. He also bragged about having a huge cache of weapons and that his 18th floor apartment offered good straight lines of the park. Alarmed, cops got a search warrant Tuesday. Usually they don't do anything. I'm really happy they did this, Joe. They found several high-powered assault weapons, along with ammo, a shotgun, loaded pistols, ballistic vests, and a scope. Johnson appeared in court Thursday and was held on $500,000 bail.
Just put him for jail forever.
Get him some mental health first, and let's see if we can't figure out what's wrong with this guy.
500.
Famous actress dies. Joe, you didn't bring this up on your thing. Melinda Dillon.
That's yesterday.
The Oscar-nominated actress who was starred in Close Encounters of the Third Kind and played Ralphie's high-powered mother in A Christmas Story. Do you know the movie The Christmas Story, Joe? The kid wants to get a Red Ryder BB gun. That's all he wants for Christmas, and they keep telling him, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. You'll shoot your eye out. He finally got the gun, and he shot his eye out. I have a friend that's in that movie. His name is Scotty Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty Schwartz was a famous child actor whose probably his biggest movie was this one, Christmas Story. He's the young kid who puts his tongue and gets stuck to the pole. If you stick your tongue to a pole in the winter, Joe, you're going to get stuck. You need hot water or urine to get it off of there.
Freeze.
Got to pee on your own tongue to get it out of there.
Freeze your tongue.
Anyway, Scotty Schwartz was in that movie. This woman was the mother of Ralphie, and she was also the mother in, she did a great job in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I don't know how she died. She was 83 years old. That's a nice life, Joe. Her family confirmed Friday that she died in California on January 9th. The cause of death is not revealed. She was twice nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Steven Spielberg's Close Encounter. If you don't know what Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or you didn't see it, or maybe you saw it and don't remember, she was a mother whose son opened the door and was kidnapped. She spent the whole movie fighting to get her child back, and at the very end, Richard Dreyfuss went on. Richard Dreyfuss had nothing left. He said, "I'll go." He got on the spaceship and left with the aliens. The young boy was returned to his mother, along with I think a couple hundred other people that had been kidnapped over the years. Mm-hmm. She was also in Sidney Pollack's Absence of Malice in 1982. I believe that's Paul Newman. Absence of Malice. We're just going around here, Joe. This is a really sad story, bro. And it has a good ending, thank God. Pain of the Candyman. The Candyman can, because he mixes it with love and makes the world feel good. Who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew? I don't know the words. Something, I'm to do. The Candyman. That's Sammy Davis Jr.'s biggest song, Joe. Pain of Candyman. This guy has a candy store. He works 7 days a week, actually lives above the store, but sleeps in the store most nights because he wants to give candy to people all hours of the night. He's 90 years old, Joe. He's 5 years younger than you.
Candyman.
Yeah, the elderly owner of Ray's Candy Store has numerous broken bones in his face and only able to eat through a straw. He has to buy. They interviewed him today, Joe. He's talking like this, and he's got a straw. He got to eat his food. He's on a liquid diet. They caught the man who beat him up, broke 3 bones in his face. Who punches an old elderly man, 90 years old? He's beloved by the whole community. Ray Alvarez told the Post on Friday he checked himself into Beth Israel Hospital Thursday, and doctors treated him for extensive injuries before releasing him. 3 broken bones in his face, Joe. One here, the side of his face, one in his cheekbone, and one in his eye socket, and his jaw is dislocated. It's horrible. He has no pain, he added, just my jaw. When I play with it, I feel the pain. Cops are still searching for the man. They caught him this morning. I'll bring you his picture and name tomorrow because it will be in the paper. Alvarez was beaten in a random attack around 3 a.m. on Tuesday outside his 24-hour candy shop. 24 hours, Joe. He sleeps in the candy shop because he likes to help feed people at night. People out there smoking weed and they get the munchies. You want candy? He's your guy. The stranger had asked him to buy a package he was carrying before handing it off and threatening to kill him. The man then pulled out a belt with a rock attached to the end and struck Alvarez in the right side of his face. He didn't go to the doctors at first. Anyway, it's horrible, 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 Joe. Leave those old guys alone. Oh boy. Look at this, Joe. You can't even trust the pizza man no more. By the way, this guy looks shady just from the damn picture. Look at him, Joe. I didn't say nothing. Never mind. I'm sorry I said that. I apologize. Because he's supposedly linked with the mafia. I don't even think the mafia is real. Acid hitman pizza ploy. A reputed Italian mafia hitman known for dissolving his victims in acid.
Oh.
First of all, I want to apologize, sir. Do not think that you're guilty. I think you're actually quite handsome. I think you're a very handsome man. Joe doesn't care for you, but I do. I do. I see a bunch of cakes from Alfred. Is somebody else got a birthday here? What is Alfred doing here? He's throwing a bunch of cakes. I don't know what Alfred's doing. You can never, with Alfred, you never know.
I am in the mood for it.
I see more cakes.
For cheesecake now.
I see more cakes. Me too. Why are they doing this stuff? There's the candles. There's cakes. Happy birthday for Ari Sanders from the other day. Absolutely, Ari Sanders. Oh, maybe that's. I have definitely wished Ari Sanders. By the way, Joe, you didn't. Ari Sanders' birthday was yesterday.
Ari
Sanders is a huge part of the show. Would you like to sing happy birthday to Ari Sanders?
If I was you, Ari Sanders, I would eat cheesecake on my birthday.
It was Ari Sanders' birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday to Ari. Happy birthday.
I don't know. I apologize.
To you.
My fault.
We want you to be happy
For 100 years.
all the time. We wish you to live up to 100 years and more.
And more. Oh, that's a bonus.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Ari Sanders. That's a bonus.
All right.
A Jordan Joe bonus.
All right, Mr. Weber.
All right, Mr. Mr. Whoever you are.
Alibaba.
Joe doesn't. Alibaba. It's Alibaba's birthday, Joe. Joe's not going to remember it.
No, Mr. Sanders.
Yeah, that's my boy. Joe remembered.
We happy.
Listen to this, Joe. A reputed Italian mafia hitman known for dissolving victims in acid was nabbed after 16 years on the lam. slinging pizza pies in a French restaurant. This guy's on the run for killing people. He's been, allegedly. He's been hiding out in an Italian restaurant, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
A French restaurant, excuse me. Italian police and Interpol on Thursday announced the arrest of 63-year-old Edgardo Greco, a convicted murderer with ties to Italy's most powerful organization called the Calabrian Indrangheta. I don't know what the hell that means. The Calabrian Indrangheta. Italy's Ansar news agency reported that the Greco had been working for the past 3 years as a pizza maker in the city of Saint Etienne in southern France, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
A guy killed a bunch of people. He's a killer. Again, I ain't said nothing. I don't know nothing. Don't ask me nothing. I ain't saying nothing.
We just found the news.
I just found the news. I'm reporting the news, but I ain't snitching. That's what I'm making clear here. I'm not snitching. Random subway knifing, a strap hanger. That's what they call you if you're on the... I've never held a strap on the subway. Quit calling them strap hangers. A subway rider, a strap hanger, was repeatedly stabbed in a random mid-afternoon attack inside a Midtown train station. Oh boy, I hate it when they say that, Joe, because that's usually us. The victim, a 37-year-old male, was standing on the southbound platform at 5th Avenue and 53rd Street. That's not us. It's right down the block, though. Around 3:40 p.m. Tuesday, when a stranger approached him and slashed him several times with a pocket knife. The victim refused medical attention. What are you, crazy? For small cuts on his head and his right leg. The male suspect fled on the streets. It's unclear if he said anything during the attack. A photo. This guy, right? Not him. Not him. Don't. Oh, this guy.
They will get there.
Right there, that guy. He looks mean. They caught his ass on a photo, Joe.
Yeah.
I think that's all she wrote today, Joe.
All right. Okay.
I could always tell when Joe wants to get out of here. Hey, Joe, what are you doing for Valentine's Day with you and your beautiful wife?
Valentine's Day, I am here in this apartment.
Aren't you going to take your wife to go eat?
If it is warm, we go out, yes. And she likes chapati.
Ooh.
You know that chapati?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Yeah, many people like chapati.
I like chipotle. I haven't had it in a while.
Yeah.
Joe, I want to thank you for
Have
letting
a nice
us use
day,
the bachelor
everybody.
pad.
God bless you.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I ask you guys to please give you 30 seconds to hit the like button. Got 60 people in here and 50 likes. 10 of you are sleeping on the job. What's your problem? I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We are going to have a better, busier show, new segments. Don't forget the Boogie Bob and Bria show, the Boogie Bria show. That's coming up. We're going to talk about some intimate things that I think some of you will like. Also, Joe, the Boogie Bob After Dark. I made that up. There's nothing. And I've got a bunch of my videos from my other channel that I'll be uploading here, some of my classics. And I want to thank Rev for all his help there as well. Everybody else, Treaton, God bless you, with you and your new shiny wrench. Alaska's in here. I didn't even see Alaska slide
How
through.
you doing, Alaska? How is
Alaska's
everything?
here. Valerie Woods here. Hi, Valerie.
Hello.
Rev Dranger's in his house. Hi, Rev. Jamie Vogel, God bless you and happy birthday. Ari Sanders, 40 meatloafs. I love that idea. Ambrose is in the house. Brooklyn, God bless you. Everybody hit the like button. If you want to... Joe, next week we're giving away a brand new car. Keychain. So, Joe, I think you're in line to win yourself a brand new car, Keychain. So if you want to win a brand new car, Keychain, then all you got to do is tune into Boogie Bob every day, and we will wish you luck. Vicky Vibes, I love you dearly. You know you're my soulmate. Brooklyn Born's in the house. Look who it is, Joe. It's Joe Hernandez, your buddy.
Hi, Joe Hernandez. How you doing?
And we will talk to you guys again real soon. Thanks for tuning in. Please be kind and loving to each other. Be good to every human being you meet. It's really cold out. If you can give someone a blanket, that would be amazing. I'll talk to you later. God bless you.
Have a nice day.
God bless you.
Amen.
Amen. Joe, you always say amen.